Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
What's up? Huh? You want something to eat? I have no idea what your affliction is, but it's pretty interesting because I like to see these guys behave differently. Do you want this big old rat, huh? Are you interested in this big old rat? No? No, you're not. What? What? I know, I see you. You want to go out for a stroll. Why? Why? Huh? You're a funny dude. You're being a funny snake. Come on, you're on a hairy edge. Falling puff adders are just against the rules here. Come on. No, we're not doing that. Come on, now I can't give this to anybody. Because who knows what sort of affliction you have. It's just really, really odd. Do you taste bitters in the area? No, I can't put my hand there because you'll owe me. Oh dear. Come on. You are a character. Okay. I've never seen a puff adder behave that way. He wants out of his cage for some reason. I'm trying to figure out what that is. What's up there, Mr. Puff? Maybe we have something more to your liking. Or maybe you just want to stroll. I'm not used to letting puff adders stroll. Really?
Oh my.
It's small, it's not big enough.
You're insulting me.
That's classic puff adder. Head down.
And making a lot of noise.
You gonna bite its ass? Oh, wait a minute, this may be the right kind of food. Here, I'll just cuddle with it.
Actually, no, it's more like he's looking at your hand. That looks much more tasty.
Well, that's the true objective of them all, you know.
Of course.
It's my hand. Hey, come back here. He has so much personality. People, this is why the windows are dirty. Come back here, you rabbit. Oh, you're just gonna heavy breathe on it?
I'd really love to dial someone and Let him breathe into the phone.
You know, I'm just, that's getting too close to where
Yeah,
my
yeah,
hand
yeah,
is
yeah.
there, sucker. You know, he's just going to mangle that rat out of the blue and totally scare the crap out of us. No, you don't want that? Is that what the deal was? You're not interested. It's puff adder breeding season. Is that the problem? Huh? I don't have another female puff adder here, bud. You're out of luck. Huh? Yes, this is the facts of life. You ready to make some little puff adders, huh? Look, if you don't want to eat that, that's fine. No? Okay. Well, then you got to go back inside. That's the rules.
No, wait. I changed my mind.
Alright, just in case he does change his mind, I'll probably leave this in the cage for him. Easy, easy, easy. I'm sorry. It's just that silly thing. Here. Look. This way. I know you're looking at my hand. No,
Oh boy, is he ever.
Well, you can't have my hand.
Oh, please.
No. Look, do you want to do puff adder cam, huh? What? What? I am not a female puff adder. I'm sorry. Huh? What? What's the matter, dude, huh? Your groin hurt? Mine too. Huh? Yeah, I know. You know, this is like, you know, people that free handle animals like this. This is the classic story of the scorpion in the hare. Hi. How you doing? If I get the camera from Mrs. Viperkeeper, will you do puff adder cam, huh? Huh?
Oh boy, that's the closest you ever will get.
It reminds me of my friend from Africa who spent a record 130 or 160 days in an enclosure with puff adders, boomslangs, mambas, cobras, you name it. And, you know, he would nightly wake up with puff adders sleeping all over him for his bodily warmth and stuff. I really have to hand it to him. That's something I would not want. But just goes to show you, if the animal sees you sort of as, you know, background and you're not bothering it, even puff adders can be amicable. Huh? What? I've got to move on. I've got lots to do here, bud. I've got lots going on. And my hand is, oops, sorry. It's just a piece of paper towel. See, with rat juice on it. You know, not a bit of motion wasted. Everything is very methodical, very purposeful. No, that's not something you want today, huh? No? No, see, yeah, that's my fingers. They're under the glass for good reason. What? You know, he sees them, no question about that, but he's just runs into the plexiglass, thank God for something. There we go. Come on, bud. That's all. You had your chance. He's such a nice puff adder. That's what I think it is. This is breeding season. Puff adders will breed twice a year, so the fall and the spring. But, you know, he is just, you know, reaching puberty now. He's like 3 years old, 2 years old. That's probably what the deal is. That's just an estimation, but, you know, the fun task of getting the spiders out of here. Sorry, gals, but this was a bad idea because somebody's going to come through there if I'm unfortunate. That will definitely ruin my day, but I don't know about your day. The Papuan Taipan is going to a friend, and she doesn't like, or he doesn't like to be disturbed. Hello, how are you doing? Huh? Here, I know that's scary. Well, you're scary. Come on. You've had a reasonable amount to eat, so you know you need to go off. I can see you're still a little bit got a little bit left in your tummy. Come on, be a good Taipan and go down the hole. They're very head shy. You have to move really slowly around their head. I think I would have been better off just trying to drop her in a bag because just the way she's going, but that's how it's done.
You need some help getting it off? I was going to see if you needed help getting that off.
Nope. You can stand on that end of the foot, the hook.
Oh, it's...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not, its head is not going to come out of the bag if you got enough, the proper pressure.
I had to move my foot because it was going up on the other end where it could have gotten through.
Okay. Okay, so, you know, sometimes you think it's going to be the most horrible experience putting a particular snake in a bag, and it turns out not to be a huge deal after all. You know, you just never can tell. And of course, for safety reasons, we double bag. I wish I had my clippers here. That would be nice, but I do have a knife. That's what I sort of do have to get up here, is a pair of diagonal cutters for just this purpose. Okay, so that will go in the bag like so. And use a blue one to secure it, and then everybody's happy camper. Now I'm hoping to get another batch of babies next year. This is the last one of this year's bunch. Now, unlike my friend that's getting this, I label things and don't put them in boxes so you don't know what's in there. It's like, it reminds me, getting a shipment from my friend Joe is like the for those people that are old enough that can remember the old Rocky and Bullwinkle. Bullwinkle's there. He says, "Watch me pull a rabbit out of the hat." This pulls out this huge lion. Roar! Whoa! Wrong hat. Well, this is like what it's getting a shipment from Joe is. Bags aren't labeled. You never know what you're going to do, and the story that I'm really relating to is the story that. I asked for some geckos to be shipped up as a feeder. So I get this box that's labeled geckos, and also in the shipment are some Jameson Mambas. Well, you put the geckos in a bag like this that I'd expect to sneak in, and I open the flap of the box that I'm thinking that has geckos in it, and I see this gaping Jameson Mamba, and it could have lit me up right through the hole, right into my face, and it's like, I'm gonna kill you, Joe. but I survived it. But I'm very cautious when Joe sends me stuff. But me, I follow a different path. Everything's by the book. And properly labeled and everything else, and we'll leave her in her bin overnight. Not that I don't trust that she couldn't get out, but I don't trust.
Just a little more safety.
Well, normally, see, what I would do is I would take her downstairs and put her in the box and leave the lid ajar and let her cool down a little bit. But she ate 2 pink rat pinks, and you saw that little bit of bulge left in her belly. So I don't want to cool her off too much too fast. I'll give her another night to digest. It's just that at 5:30 a.m. I'm sorry, I have to leave at 4:45 a.m. when these guys are partying and don't like to see me. I'm going to be coming in to visit them, and that's going to set them off for the rest of the day. And I still have to contact my buddy Stoney and get a set of new tubes, because that's obviously
that one's not in good shape.
The greatest shape. So Mrs. Viperkeeper and I are the only two here, so we know what's in here, so no one's going to bother it. It's lights off in Snake Land, and since I have to get up very early to drop this at the airport by 6 a.m., I'm going to be going to bed very soon myself. So, not much excitement, but that's the way we like it around here.
Yes.
The exciting videos definitely draw, people to, watch it and oh my God, look at this. But, some excitement and some challenge I enjoy. But there's been times it's like, holy hell, I just can't believe that happened. And
with a Taipan especially, I'm really glad it was not exciting.
Yes. As I explained in some other videos, this Taipan's venom is neutralized reasonably well by Commonwealth antivenom from Australia, because they have Taipan antivenom that's monospecific. But the thing is with the Papuan Taipans is they've been separate, on a different island for millions and millions of years, and their venom has changed some. The polyvalent from Australia will neutralize it. However, it takes a lot more. Particularly, it doesn't work well against the hemorrhagians in the venom. As the fellow that got bit in Florida right on the day of 9/11, and they had to fly in Taipan antivenom from the San Diego Zoo, and had to get special permission from the government the FAA to do that. It was the only plane in the sky that wasn't really military. You know, his blood was just leaking all over the place. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue had exhausted their Taipan antivenin supply, and this guy was still bleeding like hell. So this is why David Williams has produced a monospecific Papuan Taipan antivenin made by the Institute, University of Costa Rica, who makes very good antivenins. This way, they have a specific antivenin for the specific snake on the island, and it's low cost. And what they plan to do, and this is to bring the technology back for the people of Papua New Guinea to start making their own antivenin. So they bring prosperity, in high-tech industry, and you know, the antivenin will be lyophilized, so on areas that don't have refrigeration, these antivenins could be reconstituted and sit at room temperature for, you know, whatever the expiration date is, 3 years. But we know as a fact that, you know, expired antivenins, even treated badly, still work well enough. If they're not precipitated out or cloudy, you still use them. It's better than nothing. They just lose a little bit of potency. There's a paper out, and it's very interesting paper to read. So with that, I'll say goodnight and stop babbling away. But you know, if I'm working with a snake, I like to give you as much information about the animal as I can. So toodaloo.